Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion is Parashat Ki Tavo. As I've mentioned in the last several weeks, the Torah portions that we're reading right now are a collection of many different kinds of laws and stories, which are taking us towards the end of the Torah, and we sense again Moses wanting to get out as much information as he possibly can. Two noteworthy things in this Torah portion are that in Parashat Re'eh we were told about a ceremony that would take place in the land of Israel with the two mountains, Har Eval and Har Gerizim, facing each other, and that is revisited in this week's Torah portion, that whole story, that whole idea. And then at the end of the Torah portion, we have one of two tochechot. A tochecha is a rebuke. This is a section of the Torah in which we have a listing of what will happen when we do good things, and this is followed by a listing of what the consequences will be if we don't follow the laws. The listing of the bad things far outweighs the list we have of the good things. It's rather graphic and rather terrible, and traditionally in synagogue when these sections are read, they're read in an undertone, read very softly because they're so difficult to read. One of the things, aside from the actual content, is from a theological standpoint. Obviously, many of us find this to be very troubling because we know that there are plenty of people who do bad things and are rewarded amply, and people who live a righteous life who suffer greatly. We see that in the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot, we're even told that we cannot account for the suffering of the righteous nor for the ease of the wicked. So there have been many commentaries written about how exactly do we deal with this. Is it meant to be a personal one-on-one, like if I do something I'll be punished, or is it more on a popular level, having to do with the children of Israel rather than just one individual? Even so, this is representative of the theology of the Torah, which the rabbis later softened, understanding, looking at the world in which we live, that it's not such an airtight case, that we don't necessarily do something good and then get rewarded, or do something bad and get punished, that the world in which we live is a whole lot more complicated than that. This week at Beth El Heights Synagogue, we mark the following Yortzites: Alan Merrimont, Edwin Carr, Eva Seidman, Mark Cooper, Rochelle Clonch, J. Marianne Simon, Henry Lederer, Louis Gilden, Henry Goldhirsch, Sylvia Haskin, Samuel Holtz, Gertrude Katz, William Linderman, Bension Broner, Adele Reese, Stanley Rabinowitz, Meyer Siff, Frida Wilkenfeld, and Milton Collin, and Martin Simon. Wishing you all Shabbat Shalom.